We are in suburbs of Warsaw in the park of Jabłonna Palace. It was the property of Prince Józef Poniatowski, Polish hero, an army officer, Napoleonic marshal, and the nephew of last Polish king, Stanisław August Poniatowski. Since the 50s, it belongs to the Polish Academy of Sciences. In 1973, the first international meeting on calcium-binding proteins took place in this Jabłonna Palace. It was the idea of Professor Drabikowski, known to many as Witek, to gather in one place the world specialists in the field of calcium. It allowed them for the first time to meet and to exchange the ideas of their research. It was not easy in the early 70s to organize in Poland a meeting for about 100 participants from all over the world. It was a sad and grey period of time when lack of freedom, lack of goods and lack of exchangeable currencies were the symptoms of the Cold War. But despite of all these difficulties, Drabikowski was able to organize the successful and scientifically fruitful meeting. These pictures show some of the meeting participants: Witek Drabikowski, Mark Shaw from Switzerland, and Sam Perry from England. And the second picture show in the front, from the right, Witek Drabikowski and Setsuro Ebashi from Japan, a man who discovered troponin. The proceedings of the meeting were published in this book, edited by Drabikowski, Strzelecka-Gołaszewska and Carafoli, 1974. It is year 2010 and the 11th European Calcium Society meeting is taking place at the Department of Biology, University of Warsaw. It is located about 1 minute from the Nęcki Institute of Experimental Biology. The entire professional life of Professor Drabikowski was associated with this institute. Who was Drabikowski? He became a well-known scientist in the field of muscle biochemistry. He and his team made significant contributions to the biochemistry of actin, troponin, and calmodulin. Please listen to two of his colleagues from the Nęcki Institute.
Witold Drabikowski was born in Łódź. In 1952, we both graduated from the Łódź University. From the time we were close friends. And our scientific career was associated with the Nęcki Institute of Experimental Biology in Warsaw. Witold Drabikowski was the creator of the School of Muscle Biochemistry at the Nęcki. What was special interesting, that he was not only a talented scientist and talented teacher, but some exceptional person, very effective and very strong man. Famous Polish writer, Nobel Prize winner, Władysław Reymont, described situation where during 30 years some people built Łódź as a big industrial city. Witek Drabikowski find his promised land, because that was the core of this book of Władysław Reymont, also during 30 years. That was the build of a muscle biochemistry at the Nęcki.
Witek Drabikowski, we always called him Witek, studied at the same university in Łódź. But I met him first only when he was accepted to this institute. I was there before a few years ago, and we soon, this was in Łódź, and we soon were sent to Warsaw to install this institute, this building in which we are now. We both were supervising construction of this building, but Witek was the best master in this function. However, soon he started to organize his own laboratory. Our boss, Professor Niemierko, was very liberal in this respect, and he left us a large margin of freedom. Wittek soon collected a group of younger people around himself and formed in this way not only his laboratory, but then, with time, the so-called Rabikowski School. I think he must have been rather difficult as boss and supervisor, because he was very demanding. But at the same time, he was appreciated by his co-workers and admired even by them. He protected them very much and tried to promote them to different places in the world, to excellent laboratories abroad, because this was the only way at those times to develop science in Poland.
We are at the patio of the Nęcki Institute. This picture was taken at the same place we are now, but in 1978, on a day when Drabikowski received the most prestigious state prize for his research achievements. This picture shows Drabikowski's co-workers at the department he created, Department of Biochemistry of Nervous System and Muscle. In 1978, thanks to Drabikowski, Elizabeth Zubrzycka and myself participated in the Biophysical Congress in Kyoto. After the meeting, we went for the leisure trip and I made a movie using 8mm Russian camera and Kodak film. It is probably the only Drabikowski's movie available. Drabikowski's scientific activities were mostly conducted in Poland, but he collaborated with many leading laboratories in the world, including the laboratory of Ebashi, Gergely, and McLennan. Drabikowski passed away unexpectedly on September 17, 1983. His wife, Professor Sarzała Drabikowska, who took over his lab, died prematurely in 1987. These were big losses for us and for science. To make the tribute to Drabikowski, the organizers of the 11th European Calcium Society meeting from the International Institute of Molecular and Cell Biology founded the award, Drabikowski Award. The statue shows an EF hand, and a calcium ion is visualized as a ball made of polished amber. Wittek Drabikowski was a man whose entire life and career fully supports the sentence, "One man makes the difference." It was thanks to him that we, his students and co-workers, were able to understand what the real science is, were early exposed to the international environment, and participated in the very exciting scientific projects.